You could be a profitable day trader on a daily basis. You just need the right coaching, you need consistency. You're gonna have to take those losses. You're gonna have to take some L's on the chin in order to get through this. Anyway, in this video, I'm gonna go over price action, right? I'm gonna go over how you can easily make precision trades in both directions, depending on certain things on the stock, right? So I'm gonna go and show y'all, this was actually today, right? So price action today, the market started, I wanna say like right here, and obviously right here, right? Now, the first thing you want to look at, you want the stock to tell you a story. So you don't want to trade on that first candle. You at least want 1 to 2 candles for that story to play out for you, right? So looking at Palantir, the stock did a whole bunch. It came down here, it went up here, very indecisive. But what that first candle told me was that it broke through the 50, probably the 50 and the 55 MA. But it also broke through it here and came back down. So 2 candles, it broke through and came back down. So if you wanted to enter a call option wouldn't have been a good idea until you seen this candle break, this big candle break, and then on the next candle, right? But this is how you would have played that call option. Up here, we got the big boy. We got the 200 MA, right? And the 200 MA is a strong level of support and resistance. So once this candle broke that level of resistance, you want it to either come back and retest it, or if it's shooting up on high volume, then you can enter that trade. So this candle would have been a nice trade, 5-minute trade in and out. But if you wasn't thinking or moving that fast, look what it did once it got to the 200 MA, right? Once it got to the 200 MA, it popped right back down. And on the RSI, it was very close to oversold, right? So if you match in the RSI with it touching that level of support, and that's waiting what? That's waiting 5, 10, 15, that's waiting 20 minutes. You also see that it is way outside of the Bollinger Band, right? The Bollinger Band is here, and the stock went way above the Bollinger Band. So as you can see here, when it went below the Bollinger Band, it popped back up to go back in the range of the Bollinger Band, respecting the Bollinger Band to some degree. It doesn't respect the Bollinger Band all the time, but if it's too far out of the Bollinger Band, and it's popping at 200 MA and it's hitting the 200 MA outside of the Bollinger Band, and you see that long wick on the candle, this was a perfect entry for a put option. Now, how I would have been looking at the put option is we got this level of support now, which was resistance over here, is now support. Plus, we got this pivot point. So I would have been looking, if I entered this trade going down, I would have been looking to get out at this pivot point. But if you would have held longer, it continued to go down further. But that's just me. I like to make quick money, and I don't like to get shook out of my shoes. So with AMD painted a clear picture too. AMD started with a gap down, a big gap down, right? So that's how I started the day. The first candle came down to this pivot point, and the candle has a long wick, showing sellers, showing buying pressure, even though the stock went down. So it has a long wick at the pivot point, and it was outside of the Bollinger Band. So when this candle started to shoot up aggressively, it had high volume. That's a trade that you could have traded that upward and got out right around here. This is the middle of the Bollinger Band, which is the 20 SMA. And it also looks like, I think the 50, the 20 SMA and the 50 is right up in here. So that would have been a nice exit. Now, because the market is trending downward, the trend is your friend. You don't really want to trade against a trend, but you could trade in both directions. So this candle would have been a good trade for a call option, and you traded these two candles and you got out. But if you wanted to wait, since the market is trending downwards, if you wanted to wait over here where you see this candle got rejected with that long wick with these 3 moving averages right there, that would have been a nice sign showing you that it's time to come back down. A nice entry would have probably been after it broke this pivot point and retest. So really probably not until this next candle that's not shown yet. I might take a screenshot so we could see what actually happened. At the end of the video, there'll be a screenshot to see what AMD is doing from there. But that's the price action, man. Don't let the market shake you out of your shoes. When you combine pivot points or moving averages and Bollinger Bands and all of that, and plus the market trend, you can do a call option when the market is down and be up. But if you can't get out of the sell, you end up losing money because you can't sell the trade, right? So trade with the trend. You could trade against the trend, but try to be in and out. I'm Mike, the Money Motivator, man. I hope this video was helpful. And if it was, y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe.